Good news, everybody. I just paid my taxes. Yay! The government's not gonna come for me. The government's not gonna come for me. That was a lot of money, though. I'm kind of broke. But I'm going out tonight! Not like going out, although maybe. Going to a movie screening. But it's not for a couple hours and I have a bunch of stuff to do. So welcome back to another New York City vlog. Starting off strong with doing some dishes. Let's go. Let's go! I'm insufferable. What's up, everybody? If you're new here, my name's Chelsea. I am your favorite childless cat lady YouTuber living in Queens, New York. Okay, wait, before we do that, I'm kind of hungry, but I got these maple leaf cookies from Trader Joe's. Anyone had these? I'm loving them. They're like elevated Oreos, like maple Oreos. So much better, and they don't get stuck in your teeth like the little Oreo cookies do. I just ate the frosting. Love. Oh, hi. Clearly the aluminum foil is keeping the cat off the this thing. My kittens are 4 months old now, named Gordo and Deli. They don't know this, but they are the cornerstone of my mental health. Without them, I would crumble. With them, I'm also kind of crumbling because they eat everything they see, even if it's not edible, which is a fantastic challenge for me. But I would literally die for them, so it's fine. Anyways, that was a tangent. So my channel is all about sharing the messy parts of my life, stuff that others may not show on social media, because I realize that I have nothing to lose by doing so. We're all just on a floating rock anyways, and nothing really matters. Hold up, I just finished doing dishes and I'm watching Live It Like Lauren, her channel. She's like another vlogger based in the UK. Right as I was finishing doing dishes, she mentions me in my channel and, and that she's watching it instead of doing her work. Yes, Lauren, we are internet besties. She's moving right now, or she's packing to move right now, so I'm catching up on her videos. That's so awesome. That made my day. So I spent the weekend after filming this video in a depression cave that hit me out of nowhere. It's like that sometimes where the negative self-talk just won't stop. Thankfully, that's finally faded at the point I'm like doing this voiceover and I'm back to being my bad bitch self again. I mean, this year has been quite the journey of honestly not doing much while also feeling really busy. It's been very weird. I've like been doing a lot of thinking and reflecting and analyzing, so much so that I'm at the point now where I'm like, Chelsea girl, you can't think your way to your hopes and your dreams. I don't know if anyone else needed that wake-up call, but I really did. And you know what? I'm not gonna make myself feel bad for that because this is probably a part of my journey that serves a very important purpose that can only be discovered in hindsight. Caesar salad. Maybe it tastes better than it looks. Hair's like, I'm dressing on theme because I'm gonna be sitting in the dark watching a movie. Might as well dress in all black. Let's go see a movie.
Before I put it up. Wasn't that a phenomenal movie? I had the pleasure of meeting Susanna recently in Los Angeles, actually, about something completely independent of this, and then she said, "Oh, will you know, come and do this Q&A?" How did that feel? Like, what is the pressure differentiation for actually telling someone else's story versus telling a fictional story?
I mean, it's a lot of pressure if you care about, I mean, you kind of have to care about the people whose story you're telling, and you don't want them to feel exploited. But also, everyone's going to have, the person who's lived through the experience isn't necessarily going to highlight the same things that's important about it. So if I asked reality winner's family to write a movie about what happened, I don't know that it would, from a dramaturgical perspective, feel like the focus was in the right place, because it would be so specific to what they felt was the worst moment and the best moment. So it's stressful because you kind of have to pretend you're telling what's best for the movie. If this wasn't fictional, I mean, if this wasn't real, what would be the best arc for this character? And trying to find a middle ground between like telling the truth and telling something that makes people feel something. It's a craft that's different from just relaying the facts.
Yes.
Deli. No, you're supposed to not want to hop over the... No. I feel very lucky for the amount of art that I've been able to witness the last few weeks. This movie was so good. It was about the woman reality winner who leaked the document proving that the US election was tampered with, what happened with her, and just about more of her as a person based on a true story. So the movie we saw and the director's thoughts during the Q&A got me thinking, if there was a movie made based on your life, what would you want your storyline to be? What would be the most important part of your life that you'd want the director to highlight that you think would really inspire whoever watched? I found it pretty interesting to consider for my own life in these chapters of feeling a bit stuck, trying to view it from an objective perspective like that, since life always seems to feel more doable to me when I watch someone else live it. I know it's abstract, but bear with me here. If you were watching your life play out in a movie, how would you want your character to develop at this point in their story? What would they need to do to reach that full potential? And what is standing in the way of that? And how could you see them overcome that? I have to remember to pay my credit card. And then turn the attention back to yourself in the present moment to see if maybe you actually had the solutions all along and you're not as stuck as you thought you were. When I watch vlogs or movies, I'm always rooting for the main character to just like do this one thing and everything will be so much easier, I promise, like screaming it at the screen because it seems so obvious to me from the outside. But when it's your own life, it's obviously not always that simple. But like, what if it was? What if it actually was that simple? So I'm headed to Fi-Dye in 30 minutes. I have a lot of work to do to see one of my friends from my old job. We're gonna meet for a drink, catch up. I put out a vlog earlier, which I'm like, yes. And then tonight, I'm gonna really try to start the process for making this short film or whatever. But tomorrow I'm supposed to go to the beach with Julie. I'm excited, and I'm trying to prioritize my social life, so this is good. But maybe I was a little ambitious with this short film endeavor. Anyways, this is okay, just okay. It gets the job done. My friends, we did it in 20 minutes. 20 minutes. I'm ready to go in 20 minutes. Showered and everything. Makeup is questionable. The hair is not blow dried. Who gives a f? Let's go! This would be a time in the night where I would just throw in the towel on a Friday night it being like 9:20. I feel like I need to push through. And I want to map out at least an outline for this film because I have a bunch of ideas in my head and I kind of want to just get it all on paper. But drinks were really fun. We had one drink, we were good, and then we each had 2 mocktails, and so I feel like good. It was good to catch up with her. I have to be in Greenpoint at 11 a.m. tomorrow, which is a perfectly normal time to have to be somewhere. I'm a night owl, so I have been staying up pretty late. I'm procrastinating. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now is I'm procrastinating. But no, we should persevere. Any day now.
Born over a fault line, bad teeth and worse habits, high heels in a trailer. If you want it, you should have it. Cracking like a glacier. Any semblance of restraint.
You good? I don't know why I'm struggling so hard right now. And I only just woke up at 8. I woke up at 8. I didn't get out of it until 9:20. I'm back to scrolling again, although I never re-downloaded TikTok, which has been helpful. But you would think that... What was I saying? You would think that, you wake up at 8, if you get out of bed, you might be able to actually wake up. But no, I just sit there and think about how tired I am and how I can't go back to sleep. Why do I do that to myself? I've done that my whole life. But anyways, we're going to the beach now. I probably should leave in 30 minutes maybe. Oh! Ow! Dude, I tried to clip her claws today. She does not have it. I'm like, is this something I have to take her to the vet for? Because she's... Gordo. Hi, babies. I love you guys. I do. When it comes to September beach... There's no safe space in my apartment anymore. So, I have news. My landlord reached out to me about re-signing my lease. Maybe it was almost a week after my lease had ended, actually, and you're supposed to give 30 days notice or whatever. So my rent has only raised $69 a month, which I'm very relieved about because when I moved in here, this was not a rent stabilized unit, and I specifically asked that. The units next to mine were rent stabilized because they're grandfathered in from when the new management company came in. And so they're like, this one is not eligible. Okay, so I signed on thinking okay, I can do $2,300 for rent for a year, see how it goes. It's my first year of my own business. And if it doesn't work, if I can't afford it, then I'll find somewhere cheaper and smaller. Or if they raise the rent an obscene amount, like I've seen happen to so many people, then I will need to move. But I didn't hear from them, and then September 3rd passed. Yay, I've been here for a year. Hooray! And I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything. So, my unit's rent stabilized now. They had a clause in my lease that they had added in my lease last year that said this unit is meant for one person and one person only, and that it's not eligible for stabilization. Okay, they took that out in this new lease. I thought it's a whole building is either stabilized or it's not, depending on the amount of units that are in the building. So I knew it didn't make sense that the units next to mine were stabilized and mine wasn't. They even offered me a 2-year lease. I said no, just in case something happens. Or, life happens. I have a hard time committing to something for 2 years. I'm wondering if they wanted to suss me out because I'm a new tenant to see if there are gonna be any issues. Okay, the only time I raised an issue was when I didn't have hot water for 3 days. Anyways, that's great news. So I'm signed on for another year, $70 increase, which is reasonable. Well, it's reasonable compared to what I thought I was gonna have to pay. So that's great. We're staying, guys. That's the update. So I'll see you on the way to the beach.
it.